and welcome to Good Games Spawn Point, the show for younger gamers by gamers. I'm Bajo.
I am D.A.R.R.E.N.
And I'm Hex. Okay guys, are you ready for a big gaming workout?
Oh yes, Hex, I've been limbering up my thumbs all night.
No, not just your thumbs, Bajo. It's a full body workout because we're going to take on the moves in Just Dance 2014.
Full body?
I've put some extra oil on my rotors for the occasion.
Nice work, D.A.R.R.E.N. But we're also going to have a look at the latest Ratchet and Clank game.
Crates? You dare waste Mr. Zircon's time with crates?
Actually, Clank's been a bit funny with me ever since we gave Q-Force just 5 rubber chickens.
Well, the game only gets the chickens it deserves, D.A.R.R.E.N. I'm going to dance my way to the news.
Okay, bye, Hex. D.A.R.R.E.N, do you have any fitness tips for me to help me limber up?
Well, I like to melt down large blocks of metal with my lasers. It warms me right up.
Bit of smelting.
Bit of smelting.
Hex here with all the news from around the gaming world. Australian developer Chris Zarria has released an interesting prototype game combining a virtual reality headset, mind reading and gesture tracking technology. The game features a variety of scenarios, including one which allows users to build a city through the use of motion control and then shrink down to explore their creation using only thoughts to control their movement. A Brisbane-based company known as Cartesian Co. has successfully crowdfunded a type of 3D printer capable of printing electronic circuits. Known as the EX1, the printer is able to lay down several layers of chemicals to form the circuits without the need for soldering. It can be used on materials like paper and fabric to create wearable electronics and even print out your own game controllers.
What do you do to exercise, Bajo?
Lots of things.
Do you even lift?
I lift cake to my mouth. All right, guys, let's have a look at Ratchet and Clank Nexus. This is the final chapter in the long-running Future series, and just like all of my daydreams, it's full of jet boots, spaceships, and lasers.
They must be here.
Now, this is actually the 10th Ratchet and Clank game, so we should probably give you a bit of a refresher. The last game, Q-Force, had a tower defense theme, and the one before that, All for One, was a multiplayer co-op. But those two games are set way, way, way before the storyline of this one, so just forget them for the moment.
Done.
Nexus is a direct sequel to the 2009 game, A Crack in Time.
I loved that game. Awesome puzzles.
After foiling Dr. Nefarious's plot, Ratchet and Clank find themselves transporting the despicable Vendra Prog on her way to prison. But within minutes, Vendra's up to her evil tricks, hacking into the ship's life support systems. Plus, the heroes have to deal with Vendra's brother Neftin as he tries to bust her out.
Fire Omni rockets on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark. Oops.
As well as the usual jokes, I was surprised and happy to see the game take a darker turn towards the start. You see, you lose these 2 robots right at the start, 2 of your buddies, and I thought that was great.
It's outrageous! Seeing those 2 brave robots cut down in their prime before their warranties had even expired. It was a sad, sad day for robot kind.
Cheer up, D.A.R.R.E.N. At least you still have Clank. And, you know, your friend Dr. Zircon, he makes a return as an in-game weapon, so...
That's true. Dr. Zircon's extermination banter does always cheer me up.
Mr. Zircon does not require votes. His currency is paid.
The heart of the Ratchet and Clank series has always been a mix of platforming and over-the-top weapons, and here they pretty much stuck to the same formula with a few new tricks as well. When the prison ship's gravity is turned off, Ratchet gets to zip around in zero-G using these awesome magnetic boots. Plus, there are some spectacular bits outside of the ship with asteroids and loads of space debris.
Yeah, those space sequences were cool, and I think they did a really good job of creating some epic sci-fi locations. As Ratchet and Clank go planet hopping, you get to see a range of alien worlds, from high-tech civilizations in their prime to abandoned worlds that are falling to pieces. But no matter where you are, there's loads of detail to admire.
I have to say though, I have mixed feelings about the weapons. I'm glad the shooting controls are spot on when you're leaping about and blasting aliens with Ratchet's trusty Omni Blaster, but I didn't really enjoy many of the other guns. Most were just too silly, like this Jack-in-the-Box. Others, like his Nether Blades, were just too weak.
I was happy to see my friend Clank getting more of the spotlight this time around. Obviously, he's the best looking and bravest member of the team. And this time around, he also gets an upgrade that lets him jump into these 2D rift worlds. In this zone, he can bend gravity to his will. This lets him push platforms around and do amazing gravity-defying acrobatics.
Yes, but Clank's not the only one who gets to play with gravity. Ratchet also gets this cool little gravity gun. With it, he can make these gravity tunnels to zip around in, and before long, he's jumping between tunnels and doing some pretty clever tricks of his own. Clever cat.
I think you'll find he's a Lombax Hex. Oh, yeah. I've got another bone to pick with this game as well, actually, and it's my funny bone. I was so excited when Captain Quark showed up because he always makes me laugh.
Just let it out. Let it all out. Don't be afraid to cry. That's a brave Lombax.
But after that, he's hardly in the game, and that made me a sad Bajo.
All right, that's enough of that.
Listen, guys, I had fun with this. It feels really polished, and I guess that's because they've been making these games for a decade now. It's not my favorite in the series, and it's also quite short, but it's not full priced either, so I was okay with that. I'm giving it 7.
Yeah, I think the platforming is tight, and I just wish there were more weapons and more Quark, so I'm giving it 6.
All right then, all that talk of space has got me in the mood for a bit of a fly around the world. Out of rocket blast range, you two. Launch in 3, 2, 1.
Why can't he just take a train, or plane, or bus, or walk there, roll there in his little wheels?
Hello and welcome to Gaming Around the World with me, Darren! Today we shall look at Germany. Nestled in the rugged hills of Bavaria, Neuschwanstein Castle was the inspiration for Disneyland's Sleeping Beauty Castle. The magnificent Brandenburg Gate. The statue on top depicts a chariot driven by Victoria, the Roman goddess of victory. The Black Forest, or as the Germans call it, Schwarzwald, gives its name to the tasty Black Forest cake. Cherries. Located in Western Europe, Germany is home to over 80 million humans and is a global hub for industry, commerce, and culture. Yet despite being one of the world's most populous and prosperous countries, Germany has lagged the world in gaming. We have history to thank for that, for between 1949 and 1990, the country was split in two. East Germany's rulers looked down on capitalism and Western culture. Blocked off from the West, the East Germans were forced to smuggle in high-tech computer parts. Gaming hardly existed at all. Only one arcade game was ever made in East Germany, Polyplay. It ran cheeky copies of Western games such as Pac-Man and Robotron 2084. Things weren't much better in West Germany. In 1983, the government came close to banning arcades completely and decreed that Germans had to be 16 years or older to play in gaming arcades. The West German authorities were very concerned about the level of violence in games, and laws were strictly enforced by the Federal Department for Media Harmful to Young Persons. As an example of just how tough the law was, the first game to be indexed, that is, banned by the BPJM, was River Raid. Scary stuff. The law in Germany is still very strict. To this day, games will typically be censored so that blood shows as green instead of red before being sold. The seminal first-person shooter Doom was banned for 17 years and only became legal in Germany in 2011. Yet in spite of this adversity, Germans have created some amazing video games over the years, such as the classic platformers Turrican and the great Giana Sisters. More recently, some of the world's finest simulations are made in Germany too. Games like Anno and The Settlers. Obsessing over statistics and the minutiae of complex mathematical processes. Wunderbar! Wunderbar! Well, auf Wiedersehen, Deutschland. Auf Wiedersehen. Back to you, Bajo and Hex.
Okay, first up this week, we have this one from Hi Is Me, who is in outside Australia.
Hi, Hex.
No, it's not me. It's the person's name is Hi Is Me.
Hi.
No, it's not. Just the question.
How are you? Hi, everyone.
Is there going to be a Naruto game for the PS Vita? What is the difference between the PS Vita 1000 and PS Vita 2000? Which one should I get? And which on it cheaper? Please help me!
Well, Mr. Me, sorry, but we haven't heard about any Naruto games coming out on the Vita, but there were plenty made for the original PSP, so they might make one in the future.
As for the difference between the Vita models, well, the newer one, that's the 2000 model you refer to, is a little bit slimmer and lighter, and it comes in a range of colours. That's about it, really.
Yeah, I had one in Japan actually, and it felt quite good, but there are reports that the screen isn't as nice to look at as the older model. Also, you can't actually get the 2000 model in Australia. So far, it's only been released in Japan with no word on if it will see an international release. So that probably makes your decision on which one to buy a little easier.
All right, well, moving on to this one from Taj the D.A.R.R.E.N liker, who is in... Oh, this is a tough one.
Gidgenjinup.
In Western Australia.
Hi guys, I was wondering if you need a Microsoft computer to play KSP. Please answer on the show. Darren is a super cool robot. Hex, you're awesome. And Bajo, you awesome too. Please answer or I'll be a super noob. P.S. I love the show, so may the games be with you. P.S. A Star Wars idea. Go, good game.
Well, thanks for the kind words, Taj, and we're happy to say that Kerbal Space Program runs on pretty much any type of PC. Whether it's Windows, Mac, or Linux, you should be able to run it.
Yes, and thank you for your kind words, Taj. I have nothing to add to that answer.
Right, well, speaking of flying into space, we've got this one from Isaac, who is right behind you in Toowoomba. Hi, GGSP. I got 3 questions for you. 1, in Minecraft, can you go to the moon in a rocket? 2, can you get your world in Minecraft on Xbox 360? 3, which portal is better? P.S. Hex, you are cool. Bajo is awesome. And Darren is a massive noob. Ha! Thanks, bye.
Well, Isaac, no, you can't fly to the moon in a rocket in the standard version of Minecraft. The moon is actually just a picture in the sky and not a physical level that you can travel to.
But there are some mods out there like Galacticraft that add the moon and rocket ships, so it can be done, just requires a little bit of modding. And of course, you can't mod the 360 version, so you'd need the PC version to do that.
And sorry to say, but our world only works on the PC version and sadly can't be transferred over to the 360. As to which portal is better, we'd say probably Portal 2. It's a much longer game with some great puzzles, and the story is definitely much better.
Yeah, and how could you not love Wheatley? He's the best, such a great character. Anyway, speaking of the 360 version of Minecraft, let's move on to this one from Hero Prime in Minecraft City in Australia, which is in Victoria.
Dear GGSP, do you know about a Skyrim DLC map and skin pack for the Xbox version? I've heard about it, but I was wondering if it was true. P.S. You guys are really awesome. P.P.S. Bago. Hex is better than you. Sorry, Bago. That's right, because I don't know who that Bago is.
It's awesome being better. It's being the better one.
Bajo speaking. That's Bajo, not Bago, because that person, we don't know who that is. Who is this?
Hello. Well,
Oh, it's Darren.
Oh, hi, Darren.
I'd just like to say it's true. There is going to be a Skyrim-themed DLC pack for the 360 version of Minecraft. It'll come with a whole bunch of skins and textures, some of the music from Skyrim, and a pre-made world with remakes of some of the towns and cities. Alas, it won't have any kind of quests or story to follow. It'll just be like normal Minecraft, except in a pre-made world. Still, it's pretty cool to have some handcrafted towns and cities to explore and destroy. There's no release date yet, but apparently it's coming soon.
Well, thanks, Darren.
Thanks, Darren.
Oh, no worries.
Bye, Darren.
I love Skyrim. Skyrim and Minecraft together, that's awesome. Right, well, moving on now to this one, who is from Darren's TV screen, who is northeast of the GGSP logo, on the north, out of Asia, north and then left and then right and straight, which is in New South Wales.
Oh, the top corner of Darren's screen, where it's got that little bit of grit, which is actually a piece of a sandwich that I put to save for later. I didn't tell Darren, it's just dirtying up the screen
People
a little
can
bit.
live there. Hey, GGSP. Ha! I have seen on some gaming websites that there is a Super Mario Galaxy 3. Ha! Is this true? And when you say games for iOS, what does this mean? Huh? TV out.
Well, TV, there's been no Super Mario Galaxy 3 announced, sadly, and considering that the next major Mario game is Super Mario 3D World, we probably won't see a new Galaxy game for a few years at least, if ever.
There's no guarantee that they'll go back to the Galaxy setting. I mean, we've never had a sequel to Mario Sunshine, so it's not like they always keep going with their various Mario worlds.
Although the Galaxy games were some of the best Mario games ever, so I think there is a good chance that we'll see a Galaxy game at some point.
As for what we mean when we say iOS, well, that's just the name for the operating system that Apple's mobile devices run. So iPhones and iPads run on iOS. It just stands for I operating system.
So games need to be made specifically for each operating system. If we say it's only for iOS, then you probably can't play it on an Android or Windows phone.
Moving on to this one from Alex in Thurgoona, New South Wales.
Hi, my name is Alex and I'm 5.5. Is there any Captain America games? Or Iron Man or Hulk and Thor? I like superheroes. Darren is my favourite and Dad likes Hex. Alex. Well, Alex, there are heaps of superhero games out there starring those guys, but beware, a lot of them are rubbish. I honestly wouldn't recommend any of the Iron Man, Captain America or Thor games. They might be great superheroes, but the games aren't that super.
Yeah, but as we saw last week, Lego Marvel Superheroes is great, and it has all of those characters and then some, so we definitely recommend that one for you. Also, some of the recent Spider-Man games have been pretty good. We quite liked Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, which lets you play as lots of different forms of Spidey.
Oh, and also The Amazing Spider-Man was the most recent Spidey game, and that gives you a big open New York City to sling around in, so that's pretty good fun too.
Well, I think on that note, we are out of time for this week, but if you've got a question you'd like to ask us, you can send it in here. Right, Bajo? Are your toes twinkling? It's time to get our dance on.
What's wrong with my toes?
Well, they're twinkle toes for dancing.
Huh?
For the Just Dance review, go, go, go!
I need a doctor!
Look at these crazy kids.
Oh, I just wanna take you anywhere.
It's just a dance.
We could go out any day.
It's energetic dancing.
It's like all of this praising Darren stuff.
Yeah, I'm not quite comfortable with it.
I am.
Just Dance is back with another installment, and although it may feel familiar if you've played any of the other Just Dance games, a few things have changed.
Yes, well, firstly, they've gone for a yearly naming model, kind of like all the sports games that we're used to. Which always confuses me a little bit, because none of these songs are from 2014, because 2014 hasn't happened yet. Hey, Darren, you can time travel. What's the music scene like in 2014?
Well, Bajo, from my travels, One Direction is still ruling the charts, and ABBA has made a glorious comeback. ABBA!
Whoa, well, as exciting as that is, let's get back to the review.
ABBA.
In the classic free dance mode, you pick a track and you're judged by how well you perform the moves. But the graphics and choreography have been updated and the game definitely feels more polished.
Agreed, Hex. But of course, your experience will differ depending on which platform you play on. I always prefer the Kinect because it sees everything and it's more challenging. But with the Wiimotes, you can kind of fudge it a bit.
At least you're trying, unlike a certain human I could name.
I'm just conserving energy for the big finish.
A new mode has been introduced, the on-stage mode. It allows one player to dance the lead role whilst the two other players dance the backup routines. Brilliant if one of you wants to play the star. More emotion, you two. I'm not feeling it. More drama. More passion.
Yeah, Darren, I really liked that mode because it encourages everyone to work as a team rather than just trying to learn the same moves. You really get a sense of trying to put that whole stage package together.
You know what, Hex? At first, I thought that being a backup dancer would be much easier, but it's just as much hard work.
We have to lift Darren up now.
Affirmative.
No, too heavy.
Let's skip that one.
It's right there on the screen. You have to lift me up and carry me around.
It's just that you're very heavy. You've got lots of parts in you, Darren.
Yeah.
The two-player battle mode and four-player crew dances are back, as well as the classic Just Dance humour. I especially like the track where the robot danced with the space lady.
The track list features a wide selection of songs, including classics from the 70s, the 80s, and of course the top hits of 2013, which make up most of the 50 songs.
I think it's great that there's music in this for everyone. There's the choice of disco, to modern pop, and even Disney. But personally, I couldn't get past this timeless movie classic.
Okay, we're gonna be creeping like we're looking for ghosts. Crab walk. I'm back.
Classic.
When you complete each song, you'll be rewarded with mojo points, which you can then use to unlock variations to different songs, including more challenging choreography.
One type of unlock is the sweat version, which offers a high energy and high octane fitness version of the choreography. God, that really gets the heart pumping, doesn't it, Badge?
Yes, I was huffing and puffing a minute into it. In fact, I'm getting tired now just thinking about it.
Ready to unleash that energy, Bajo?
No.
What's that, Bajo? You said you were about to unleash your energy.
Power sleep. And it's important to make sure you clear out a good space to dance in, because sometimes it does get a little intense and you don't want to kick something in your living room.
Oh, sorry, Darren.
That's all right. Just Dance has also introduced an MMO-style online mode called World Dance Floor, where players can compete against each other online, level up, and join crews.
Yeah, I love that, Darren. It gives solo players a little something extra, because, you know, performing those duets by yourself can be a little bit awkward at times.
Tonight the music seems so loud. I wish that we could lose this crowd.
And, you know, you can't always have your friends around.
There are a few platform-specific features. The Kinect lets you capture and share snippets of your dancing, while the Wii U is probably better when playing with friends.
Affirmative, Bajo. The Wii U's Party Master mode allows an extra player to control the party from the gamepad. You can change one of 4 moves every 10 seconds to make a new choreography on the fly, and you can even change songs mid-dance.
Russian step.
She does this in the music video. What? No, Russian man.
It's Russian man time.
No, this isn't Gaga.
The Party Master has
This
chosen...
makes sense with the song.
I like Russian man.
Okay,
Go back to Russian man. He was
back to
cool.
Gaga. This is cool.
Negative. It really tends to spice things up and keep it interesting. No.
One thing that is lacking from it, though, is there's no practice or tutorial mode. And as a bit of a noob dancer... Dancer, Darren, not gamer.
Still a noob.
Well, as a bit of a noob dancer, I think this would be something that could help me progress and learn.
No, I agree, Bajo. I mean, as much as Ubisoft have refined the diagrams and the moves, they're still a little bit confusing at times, and it would just be so much more helpful if they could just slow everything down and break those moves down a bit.
Absolutely.
But I don't even know how to do some of these moves. I'm just kind of like throwing my arms and legs around really quickly.
I just feel like as it is now, this is more of a party game than something that actually helps me become a better dancer. We should wrap this up though. Final thoughts, Hex?
Well, as it stands, I'm still more of a fan of the Dance Central series, simply because it does such a better job of teaching you those moves and making you feel like a cooler dancer. And I also think the choreography is a bit more street too, which I prefer. But I think Just Dance still comes out on top if you just want something bright and fun to throw on when you've got a few friends over. And it's not intimidating, so more people are likely to get up and have a go. So I'm going to give it 8.5.
Yeah, I wish it had a better single-player experience, but I agree with you, Hex. I'm going to give it 8.
Come on, you two. Let's have another song. Come on.
All right, Darren. Let's do it.
Let's dance.
I am exhausted.
Me too.
But no time to relax, guys, because guess what?
Oh, I know exactly what.
Next week is our last episode of Spawn Point for 2013.
That's right, Darren. And we've got something very special planned. New consoles!
Yes, we're going to be checking out the Xbox One and the PS4. I'm so excited.
Oh, I love a good hardware upgrade.
Oh yes, it's time for a whole new generation of gaming to begin.
Till then, may all your current gen games be good ones. Hex out.
Bajo out.
Darren out.
What are you looking forward to, Hex?
Oh, Knack. You know, I played a little bit of it in Japan. I can't wait to play the whole game.
I want to play some Forza. I want to drive those shiny cars around the corners.
The one will be so cool.
I'm looking forward to the new menu screens.
The menu screens.